Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a really quick layout share for Freeze Friday. And I'm actually doing it on Friday. I kind of took a bit of a break. I didn't have an everyday video challenge or even a layout a day challenge that I was working on. So we'll go through these really quickly. This one was the last day of October, and I was using the Load October sketch, and I don't have the sketch pasted on the back. I'm not sure why, but the design was that it had a very large circle. It was mounted over the middle of split page like this with the diagonal line there and some circles, and I think the original had like 2 or 3 photos and I've only got one. And the prompt that day had to do with crowns, so and bravery. So I have a picture of Ava waiting for her leukemia checkup at Children's Hospital just the week before. And I titled it Brave, which was also one of her favorite movies when she was a kid. And I used the quote that was one of those given as inspiration, and I wrote it around this circle, and I said, her courage was her crown, and she wore it like a queen. And I have a little tiny punch, and I punched crowns out of different scraps that kind of went along with this, including some silver glitter and some gold. So I kind of like this layout. It's not normally a photo that I would scrap, but the story behind it is one worth telling. So that was my very last Load layout, and I used the Scrap Happy October sketch for that one. This was Scrap Squad Sunday, and I took the example was a Halloween layout, and I used my Mind the Scrap October kit to soften it up a bit and make it all about Katie, who was our first-time voter in the House. So what an election to be a first-time voter. So there's that one. This one was for my Scrap Academy lesson, and my lesson was on scrap lifting. And so this was the video that goes with this one. Is a fairly long video because I kind of go through my whole selection process and decision-making process and so forth all throughout it. So it kind of covers from A to Z how this layout was conceived and then how it was carried out. And this is the original layout by, and I guess I have to remember that when I hold this at an angle, you may not be able to see it. I had some feedback about that last week. Let me just kind of check as I'm holding it here. Yes, you can see the whole layout. This is the original by Nikki Rowland, and as you can see, it's a Christmas layout, and she does kind of ombre her colors from this pale kind of whitish colors and blue, kind of cool colors here down to very warm reds down at the bottom. And I didn't really analyze my strips that way. I just kind of selected lots of strips from, branding strips from, that had colors that I thought would go nicely on this kind of scuffed up background. It's a Tim Holtz, I guess that is a Christmas paper. It's the B side of that. And I kind of wanted a scuffed up look to it. So I have perspectives here from Bramble Fox, and of course my title is a Bramble Fox. It's called Official Report, and these little strips here are ones I typed up quoting press writers about his football prowess. So, and this line of stars was just awesome. This one was for a Back to the Future hop, and it was it's the challenge that Shannon and I took on for Challenge Accepted. So we were supposed to take something old and make it new again. So this was a 2012 page that I did in a mini book that what I was inspired by was the line of trees and the snowdrifts. And I think I did this snowdrift here in glitter paper. And this was an acetate say cheese. I had a decal edge that I used decorative scissors for. I used them a lot in those days. And I'm not sure where that came from. But I just thought it was something I'd like to update. So I used some Tim Holtz stamp, and I did some primary images and secondary images around. I used the Tim Holtz die, and I cut these out of dark green velvet paper. I tore some white cardstock. I printed the photo with a decal edge, which is an edge frame option on my word processing system. And I tore this strip of white cardstock. I used the same die that I had used to cut that snowdrift I strung it together and cut these snowdrifts, and one was on the other side of the other. And I separated them with some foam, pop that up with foam, pop this up with foam so that there's a place to tuck in these chipboard pieces. Used Bramble Fox perspective houses and trees here. I had a chipboard car with a tree on top and some dies of little reindeer. And I had like this die and these dies. In fact, the snowdrift die, all of that was meant for, I used primarily, and the stamp, for card making. I've had them for years, and this is the first time I think I've used them on a layout. I may have used trees on a layout, the trees on a layout before, but I really love this page. And this was tree cutting day on December 12th, 2009, which happened to be my birthday. So I love that photo, and I like how the page turned out. This is my Mixed Media Frenzy page. So again, that was for Challenge Accepted and the Back to the Future hop yesterday. This is today's Mixed Media Frenzy, and the original is here. There was a look of, and it was probably done with stencils rather than doilies, but it kind of had a doily print around there, and just a very messy background that I couldn't tell how it came about, and a lot of crosshatch kind of action going on there. A bunch of leaves over here and a few down in this corner, tags and so forth. And there's look like some stamped birds in flight and some arrows, and I doodled those in myself. I used a Bramble Fox perspective here. That's an acrylic piece that looks like torn notebook paper. I've got some tissue paper that I die cut, and it's got, you know, a stitched edge. I've got some die cut skeleton leaves. Those are Tim Holtz leaves. And then these sprigs are from, and this kind of fence thing, and this number, those are all from Bramble Fox dies, and this is a Bramble Fox perspective here. These are perspectives there. So I've got a lot of dimension. I think I've got about 3 layers of foam between the photo and the background, and it really kind of pops it up and allows me to tuck things in. So, and for me, one of my favorite bits of this, besides the Wendy Vecchi stamp, which these little die cuts have the crisscross going at diagonals. The Wendy Vecchi stamp has them, squared off. They're rectangular and little squares in there. And I love that stamp. That's one of my favorite and most used stamps. And I really like that. But one of my very favorite pieces is the blue glitter arrow. I have no idea why that just stands out to me, but it seems, since the title is Sparkle and there are bubbles in this altered photo, and I've got these bubbles over here with hearts in them, it just kind of seems appropriate. And the color scheme was built entirely from the fact that I had these 2 ticket stickers on a sheet, and I killed the sheet when I pulled those stickers off, and that just kind of set the tone. From there, I picked the green paper, and then I found the pink and green ice cream cone on another sticker sheet that had these 2 hearts, and I used those. If I have any regrets, it's that I smooshed some of this distress ink over here, had to cover it up with a stamp. The black ink splatters kind of got smeared around, but it's got a grungy look. It's supposed to have a grungy look, and it does. So those are my 5 layouts for the week, and I've gotten a whole lot done in my organizing of stamps, which is my current emphasis in my Organize series on YouTube. So I'm very, I haven't been entirely idle, but it was kind of nice to take a rest and just do 5 instead of the 17 or 18 a week that I had been doing. So thanks for watching. As you can tell, all of these leaves made from scraps. That's a scrap piece of green paper. I killed 2 sticker sheets. In fact, I used the last piece of ephemera from whatever collection that came from. All of these are older supplies. These Bramble Fox perspectives have been in my stash since last Christmas, and they were in the Christmas stash. And this is I killed a chipboard by using these 3 pieces. So as you can tell, and there's nothing but scraps here. Doing a good job of killing scraps in my Mind the Scrap kit for that one. And all of these circles are made from scraps. So I'm using a lot of stash. There's nothing purchased for any of this. My big purchase this week, the reason I have this here to show you, and that's probably creating something of a glare, I bought 3 white 12 by 12 frames that don't have glass. That is plexiglass or acrylic there. And I'm framing, this is a birthday gift for Allie. This is a gift for my sister Patrice. And I've got a Christmas gift that I'm going to do for Patrice. So my big expense this week, only expense this week, were these frames. And I forget how much they're. I think I got the 3 for $20. So I'm happy with that. And I'll see you next week for my spending report and layout share. And I expect it probably won't be much bigger than this as far as layout shares. I have big plans to really work hard on the stamp organization so that I have I can complete it by next Saturday. So I'll have a report on my progress tomorrow, which is Saturday, my usual completion report, but instead of completion, this will be a halfway project progress report. So again, thanks for watching. Shop your stash. Bye.